Meet Yvette. Yvette is a chatbot. Yvette is a virtual service agent that works for a big bank. And this bank came to us and said, we're using Yvette for sales purposes, for service purposes. Our customers add her to Facebook. But we've also invested a lot of money in the development and the continued operation of Yvette as an algorithm, because ultimately that's what she is. So what's the return here? And through our research, we were able to find evidence that people who engage with Yvette basically make more use of the services of the bank. So that ended up being good news for the bank, and we had an opportunity to enrich our knowledge base, the knowledge base on how these chatbots work. And if we fast forward to today, there's a whole range of chatbots, varying from financial services to mental health services. And here we have Sarah, who, like all the other chatbots, ask you, shall we engage in a conversation that is happening in real time and in natural language. So how does this drive the research that we do at King's? Well, at the moment, the research that we do at King's is all about tackling the challenges posed by the corona crisis. And the particular challenges that we as marketing scholars are tackling have to do with financial challenges. Financial challenges, the financial pressure, the economic crisis that's unfolding is causing big problems, but there's just not enough advisors to assist everyone. So hence, can we use AI-powered chatbots to help people manage their personal finances? But how do you design effective robots? How do you design them in a way that they are fab, that they are frequently attentive bots and not frequently annoying bots? Those are important questions, because ultimately the customer experience is about building personal, tailored, and emphatic conversations that lead to trust of the customer, trust of the consumer. So before we do any research, we always ask more questions. And some of the more specific research questions that we came up with was, what works better? A picture of a human or a design that poses the chatbot as a robot? What is the better conversation style? Is it that personal, social, or more oriented towards the task? And by the way, what does works better actually mean? And since we're in a crisis, how is the experience influenced by personal feelings of people? How do we find answers? We do what we always do. We follow Steve Jobs' advice, and we say, we believe that customers are smart. Some people are more flexible. They want to change more than others. But you just have to ask them if you want to know these things. And that's what we did. And the way we did this is that we invited respondents to imagine that they had a salary reduction. For a lot of people, that's actually a reality, that they had reduced income, and that they they'd realized that they had to engage in stricter budgeting, take a stricter control of their finances. And we say, imagine that you start offering and that you start communicating, interacting with Penny, a virtual money coach. And here she is. This is Penny. Hi, Penny. You're going to be my virtual friend. And Penny asks me to share with her details. It's organized around social sharing. So how's my day? What's my day been like? Am I ready to start? And she says it's nice to meet you. she goes a little bit off topic when she talks about relationships with money as being complicated. And she combines that with gathering information about my spending habits. And after I've said, okay, let's go, she says, great. And she asks me how much I ideally would like to spend on food and drinks. I give her an estimate, I give her a number, and then she comes back saying, yeah, that sounds reasonable. By the way, what's your favorite cuisine? Share that with her. She reacts to that. And then the next piece of information that she asks me to deliver is how much do I actually spend? And with that information, she calculates my budget and will ultimately propose to give me personalized advice. So that's the group that saw a chatbot that looks like a human and that was very relational in the conversation style. There was another group that we confronted with a chatbot that looked a lot more like an actual robot, as you can see here. The same scenario, but a different chatbot. Very different, more task-focused communication style as well, indicating the limit and basically asking me for information. And that's it. So we were expecting very different evaluations of that customer experience by the respondents in our research. So after the four groups, the four combinations of style and design had been exposed to these chats, had the experience of actually chatting to the bot, we asked them all sorts of questions. How was your experience? Were you satisfied? Did she give you useful advice? A whole battery of questions, and we were expecting, or we are expecting, because the research is still going on in combination with our Australian colleagues, we are expecting huge differences in the customer experience between the various groups of respondents that participated in our experiments. So we don't have any answers yet. Answers are beginning to form as we analyze the data. And I would just say, join us at KBS and find out more and engage in the conversation that we're having in the classroom. Happy to share all our findings with you when I'm either greeting you online or in Bush House in London. Thank you.